Hello everyone, I'm Lisan, Educational Information Teacher in Bangkok High School. This time we are going to study how to use Excel and cases of utilization in class. First, we are going to learn the basic structure of Excel. Excel consists of line and row. As seen, the width is line and vertical line is row. And this box is called cell. Each datum is inserted in one cell. And the Excel has concept address. In other words, the address is related to where each datum is stored in Excel. This address is expressed the combination of line and row. The address of the data seen on the screen now at the bottom of the right is D9. So let me give one more example. The address of the cell is C7. By using information on the left and on the top, we can easily recognize which kind of address data have. Now, this time, let's fill up data in this Excel. We're going to insert the grades of math, science, and information of 5 students. The student's ID number is expected in the leftmost. First, fill the first line like this, as I'm doing. From the second line, please fill data 1, 2, 3 in a row like this. Surely, although I told you that we would insert the grade of 5 students, why did I insert only 1, 2, 3? It is because there is a convenient function automatically filling in Excel. After clicking the last data, drag the green dot on the bottom of the right in the bottom. If you can drag like this, you can see that the same data are replicated and inserted in the bottom as seen on the screen. When click this dot, if it drag again in the condition pressing Ctrl, you can check that data as increased is inserted. This is a so beautiful function. Now, let's insert the balance data like this. Of course, you can use different ones with data suggested by me. But it is better to use the same example as mine to compare the screen shown by me and check whether the result is right. Now, we're going to use the function provided in Excel. First, let's calculate grade total of each student by using sum function. First, we need to add the quality to store the grade sum of each student. We are going to add attribute sum in E1 and generate function like this in E2 on the right bottom. The meaning of this function is to store in the left the result of calculation in the left based on the signal equal of the left. Namely, you can understand as you will store the result sum B2 to D2 in E1 of the left side. And sum is function meaning total. The range calculating sum will be inserted in the brackets. So suggested range here is from B2 to D2. Here column means the successive range. So the 3 data becomes from B2 to D2. We can print out the sum of the 3 data like this. If you want to gain the sum of various data in discontinuous cells, you can get sum by inserting the address of various cells with not column but comma. Next, I'll let you know a novel function. Right before, if you drag green dot in the bottom on the right of data, the same data can be replicated without pressing Ctrl. If you press Ctrl, data are increased one by one. Amazingly, if we drag cell being applied by a function like this, you can check that a function applied in original cell is changed and applied in the bottom. Namely, a function we used first is the function gaining sum from B2 to D2. If you automatically fill up through drag, the third data inserted sum from B3 to D3. Next, the fourth data inserted sum from B4 to D4. Excel has so intelligent function. Now, let's calculate the grade average of each student. This time, let's calculate not with function, but with arithmetic operator, plus, minus, multiply, division. First, add attribute, average 1 to express the average of F1. After adding like this, generate a function like this in F2. The grade of number 1 student, which we calculated right before, is stored in E2. When we calculate the average of certain value, generally we can calculate by dividing the sum of data into the number of data. This is the one to apply mathematical method. It is a case that we divide all grades of number 1 student in E2 into the number of subject and gain the average like this. This time, if you drag down green dot into the bottom of the right, you can see that Excel automatically fills up. If you check the result, you can see long decimal points behind. According to cases, because there is a case that decimal point is not long, let's learn about the way cutting decimal point. Now, after clicking data, if you click the right button of mouse, you can designate cell form here. If you press cell form, click number and category. Next, you can set as many digits of decimal point as you want. I write E as an example. If we apply like this, we can check it is changed like this. You can apply the balanced ones like this. You don't need to apply one by one after designating block from here to here. Namely, drag and then after clicking several data at a time, if you designate the cell formula, you can see it has changed at a time like this, but the result is different with one which we already had. Let's see the last data. Definitely, the last data was 87.66667. After changing cell formula like this, it has changed into 87.67. Namely, if you designate a decimal point like this, you can know there is the function automatically rounding off. Now, let's the grade average of individual students. This time, let's utilize average function. Add attribute average 2 to represent the average of G1, and generate function in G2 as follows. Here, average is the same as function. B2 to D2 means to calculate the average ranging from B2 to D2. So if you drag on the bottom of the right, data will fill up like the picture on the right. This time, I'm going to show you how to delete data. If you click the name of a row like this, all rows are selected by invisible spot in the bottom. If you click the right button of the mouse on this row, there is attribute delete. If you click this, you can delete rows as times as you want. Now, this time, let's proceed the visualization of data using charts. You can chart in the right if you press Insert tab at the top. There are bar graph, polygon, and pie charts. Because there are various graphs, click the graph which you want to use later. First, let's practice with bar graph. After designating block of B, C, D row in data, which we previously practiced, click Bar Graph in Insert tab. Designation of block can be easily completed if you drag mouse from here to here. Now, the result of visualization is like this. We can simply visualize through several clicks. Look here, there are a number of students. You can see that data about what each color means appears. And the most important, students' grades appear in the left. As using charts like this, it is good to check arranged data at a glance. Now this time, let's process visualization of data using maps. I generate an example based on data about several countries for the visualization of data using the map. The name of the country is generated in the left and data of population in the right. As seen, it is generated with 10,000 units. After designating block from here to here, press Maps in the Chart tab. If you press Maps in the chart table, a picture of map appears. When you press the pictures, map chart is drawn like this. Therefore, this is a way to easily represent how much data is distributed in any area. And lastly, I'm going to introduce Kaggle dataset to you. The reason which I introduced Kaggle dataset is because I think that getting data of good quality in visualizing data is the most difficult. Besides, because it is better to introduce sites retaining vast and various resources to search for data which children want, I'd like to introduce Kaggle dataset to you. It is free. After browsing data, download and then process visualization.